a joint bang, I suppose, going out with a bang, I suppose you might say. And
it's a big bang.
A big bang show. And we're a bit late because of the time difference. We're a bit...
we're still waiting on Frank, who's just about to fly
will come in a second. Good evening to you, Simone. How are you over there in the land of the free?
Not bad, Trev. Loving life. Loving our big bad border. Keeps us safe.
So
sorry, guys. It's not nice, but we'll take whatever cheap shot.
The wall is working.
It seems to be, but it's only a matter of time before we're in your shoes.
Yeah, well, it's not looking good all over the place, but hopefully you can hold on at least till September, so there's a grand final.
It's looking fantastic. I can't wait.
Yeah, too bad your team's not in it.
I know, that's a bit shit.
Good evening to you, JR. How are you this evening, my friend?
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, a little bit late, but a little bit that's because of me. Had a few things that I had to sort of tie up.
But, howdy, folks.
Yeah. G'day,
Frank. Thanks for joining us. The show was great. Have a good evening.
Sim 1.
All right, see you guys. Cheers.
Now, apparently, Trev, and this is a big development during the week, and as we know, there's been a lot of things going around the footy club. Apparently, we've just got a new sponsor, Shindaiwa. And for those of you who don't know, they're hedge trimmers, and this is for Frank.
Perfect. He's actually doing Movember, so you might see the Western Bar back on for the big shave.
I'm getting rid of it.
Very nice.
Really?
I'm seeing some photos. Yeah. I've seen some photos with you, sans the beard there, and let me say, please keep the beard, mate.
100%.
This guy.
No, you're actually a handsome bloke. So
you reckon?
Yeah.
Be the only one. You and my mum would be the only one that think that.
What are you hiding behind? What are you hiding behind?
My double chin.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can't hide
mine. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. You're joined for a Big Bang show, the last of the home and away season. We've got Simone and Frank over in WA. Johnny is up North Queensland, and I'm in good old Melbourne town.
And,
thank you for joining us.
Got to say, I'm in shorts and T-shirt. Have been all day.
Very nice.
I'm in a T-shirt and I'm outside, so it's not terribly bad here in the West.
It's not freezing. I've got a beanie on to hide my work hair.
I've got my where the wild things are jammies on, and my Carlton. My daughter picked them out. What can I say? Good evening to Mick Ross. Thank you for joining us, Mick. Straight off the bat, and lots to cover tonight. But he's wasting no time. Says Ross line for Blues 2022. That's a big discussion tonight. Andrew Lake, g'day Andrew to you. Very good friend and the smartest Carlton man that I know. Natasha Ganinian, g'day Natasha. Thank you for joining us. Colleen Therese Toms, thank you, Colleen. Oh, hello. I know who that is. Nick Keskanidis.
Hey, she says I'm beautiful.
Someone's got
to. Colin's in Carnarvon, so that's fantastic.
Carnarvon. You Eastern status.
It's Carnarvon,
Jeff Chang, g'day Jeff. Is Tiggy out? Who would you rather have, Clarko or Lyon? Stay tuned, Jeff. All those questions will be answered this evening. We'll get to everyone tonight, so if you've got a question, we'll promise you we'll get to most people. Mac Champion, g'day Mac. You are a champion. Biggest topic. Do you think old men should wear sleeveless jerseys?
I don't know. I'm not an old man.
John's actually 19, Mac, if you just tuned in. So,
he's a Carlton supporter, though. So.
Yeah. He supports Carlton.
We're all teenagers, actually. We just look really old, stressed as
I just got him from high school.
Although John is 19, he's got the muscle tone of a 90-year-old man. That might explain the run around in the jumper. Brad Miller says, hey guys, it is 350th week. Indeed it is 350th and last game for the club, showing the door as we know. Let's start off with Eddie, hey? 350 games. What can you say about him that hasn't been said over the years? What an out-and-out champion footballer, a champion guy, a family guy, stand up, stood up for his causes along the way, and I'm sure will continue to do so. But sad that we had to say goodbye to him for a while, but blessed that he finally came back and got to finish off his time here at Carlton.
Yeah, look, it's really quite devastating this past week with all the retirees, and I suspect there's more to come.
Yeah.
But I think in Eddie that that's someone that's done so much for the game. Never mind Carlton.
And his people. Never mind the game.
And his people. And yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's gonna be.
Yeah, it's sad.
I mean, looking forward to watching him this weekend. I'll have to put my hand up and admit I was contemplating not watching. But if it's
Eddie's still got more windows to clean up, yeah.
Yeah, cotton tips take a while. But we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see the champion on his last day on the park.
Yeah.
First of all, Johnny, obviously he was shown the door 3 weeks ago, as it turns out. Wanted to go on. Potentially signs of other things that we all know what's going on and at the club right now. Let's just talk about it on a personal or a singular level with Eddie. Would you, if you're in the top seat, would you have given him another year?
Yes, as a rookie. Yeah, for sure. I'm not completely convinced that there's someone to take his spot, but by the same token, if I was talking complete list management, I would say that the combination of him, Mark Murphy, and Levi Casbolt is probably fueling the H contract, big contract extension. There's going to be a lot, which I've said since Sam Walsh was recruited. There's going to be a lot put away for him, and we're probably seeing that's going to be double what we initially thought. So a lot of that is going to go to keeping those young players. The other thing that I want to say too is with all these older players retiring is I think that we all thought, club included, that we're a lot more advanced than what we actually are. So it was like, if we're going for finals, we need those older players, those bigger bodies around for the end of the season, which hasn't happened. I think the way we're going probably won't happen next season. And so, these players have to be moved on. It was kind of like one last hurrah, all right, let's have a crack at it type thing. And it's gone tits up.
Mm.
Yeah. Let us know your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. Would you have given Eddie another year? Johnny says a rookie. Frank and Simone, would you have given him another
I would have. I would have, but I've got a bit of an alternative theory on that because
oh my god,
the fact that the soft cap is still going to be reduced over the next couple of years due with COVID and things like that. I reckon we're going to struggle to get someone like Eddie or some sort of development type coach into that role. I see no harm in, as John said, stick him on a rookie list on a bare minimum sort of a wage, and that way he doesn't affect the soft cap for the coaches, for development coaches. He might play maybe 5 games a year, maybe more, maybe less, doesn't really matter, but he's the sort of guy you need around for young fellas, be it Indigenous young fellas, Caucasian young fellas, anybody. He's the perfect sort of guy that can guide a young fella through those early years of an AFL career. So, and given that he's not going to get an opportunity as a development coach because of the soft cap restrictions, 100% slide him in as a rookie, pay him $100,000 a year, or $150,000 a year, whatever the base is, because there's obviously a base rate that you have to pay, and keep him in there because he would happily do that. We would love to see it. It would be such a benefit for young players.
Yeah, look, I have to agree. I think the thing we're going to miss most about Eddie is his impact to the up-and-coming players on the field, and the stuff that he does off the ball. That's probably the bit we're going to miss the most. But, on the flip side, is he going out while he's, still having a good run?
Yeah.
Do we
That's
not
what I
want to
like.
see him at the end of his tether and,
Yeah, I like that too, Simone.
Although we kicked, I think he's our second highest goal kicker this year. had some injuries.
Still got plenty. Yeah.
He's got stuff in the tank, but I think, if we're going to be serious as a footy club, and let's face it, we're not serious as a footy club right now. Eddie is one of those players that I think is just have to step aside and accept that it's the time is now, and play these other players coming through. Eddie will have a role within the club. I'm certain of that. We wouldn't be letting him go. Whether that's as a coaching role, as a mentor, I would hope that some smart person, if there's any left at the footy club, would bring him in as that kind of in some kind of capacity, whether it is coaching, whatever.
I think so.
I think Eddie.
Trev,
go on.
Yeah, sorry, mate. Just pick up on that point before you go on, which is a very, very good one. Is I wouldn't be surprised if it was actually put into his initial contract, or not into his contract, but the initial reason to get him over here, is that it was promised to him that he would be a development role after he finished.
Development,
and I reckon they'll honour that.
Whatever it is. You don't lose you want to hold on to the calibre of people like Eddie within your footy club. Whatever he does, whether it's in footy or out of footy, I'm sure he'll be primed for. But to me, he'd lost the Eddie. He'd lost it. He's lost a bit of what he's had over those years.
But what he brings in passion for the game and for his team is something that we don't have in spades at the moment, and we're going to miss.
And we have a habit of arseholing anybody who does.
Yeah. But I just want to share a really lovely story. My brother-in-law passed away a few years ago, and before he was a huge Carlton supporter, and his favourite was Eddie Betts. And then Eddie Betts went across to Adelaide, of course, and he swore black and blue that Eddie Betts would come back. And he would always say that to my nieces. Now, of course, he passed away the year before Eddie Betts came back. So we never got to see him come back on. Now, one of my niece's in-laws wrote to Carlton Football Club and told of the story. And one of the staff has, got a hold of Eddie. He was busy with something at training at the time, and she's like, "Oh, can you just sign this Guernsey, blah, blah, blah." Number 19, told the story, and he signed it, and he goes, "I'm going to come back because I want to hear more about this story." And the gorgeous fella came back and filmed himself doing a message to the girls about, the fact that their dad passed away, and he was saying that I'm back and all this sort of stuff, and it was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it was.
And that's the kind of fella he is.
Yep. Yeah. Got nothing out of it besides
making a family's day.
Yep.
Yeah. I think David Teague wrapped it up well today. He said, you spend a little bit of time with him, your life is better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Quality guy, superstar Carlton footballer, superstar AFL footballer, mark of the year, goal of the year. Look, they're just the delight as a supporter, we've all shared in watching him play. We've all been out of our chair, whether it's been at the game or at home. We've all screamed his name. It's just been a delight watching him and go about what he does and the excitement he's brought to the footy. The terrible shame that the club is in a position that it is right now, because I was desperately hoping that Eddie would be part of a finals game. Obviously, we're all devastated we can't go and see him. That's obvious. But yeah, the fact that we can't, that the team hasn't performed as we would have liked it to give him, Murph, Casbolt, some success and a crack at one final at least this year.
Yeah, that's my original point of keeping those guys on this year and why they've moved on. I would love to see that too. I really would have.
Also, I think Ross Lyon can develop a player like that. A young bloke just coming into his prime.
Here we go.
I'm going on Louis Armstrong on you here.
Okay.
Hang on. I'm going to go and get a beer before that's even touched.
And while he's off, I just want to finish off chatting about Eddie. I'll tell you what, As a Carlton supporter, I feel absolutely honoured that we had Eddie Betts run around in our jumper. Like, and Adelaide probably feel the same way, Adelaide supporters. Such a special guy, and you know, you would hate to have thought that someone like Eddie was running around in a Collingwood jumper. That would have just been a shit show.
I've got one quick Eddie story. It's a little bit different, but my wife, she's an Adelaide supporter, so naturally
we're working on that.
Naturally, Adelaide is be automatically my second team. So when he went to Adelaide, I was jaded but okay with it. We went to watch Adelaide play West Coast here in Perth, and Adelaide won. I think it was the year they played in the grand final, but irrelevant. Eddie was the only Adelaide player that came to the cheer squad end to hand out a footy and high five and chat with the fans. All the Adelaide players were gone, except for Eddie. He's the only way. He came across on his own and high fived some kids and took some selfies and then quickly bailed off later. But he was the only one.
Quality
but
guy.
that was a Carlton thing. They did that, before he went.
Yeah.
He was one of the first to do that. But I'm this is a wonderful train of thought, guys, and thanks for bringing this up, because this was a point that has been really conflicting in my own head for so many years, as how gutted I was that Eddie went to Adelaide. But on reflection now, I think he became a better player for it. He rose from, a very good goal sneak to actually an important part of the team who's going to play finals, which I don't think that he was at Carlton. I also think that his career would have stalled, even finished, under Mick Malthouse, because that slow, stagnant ball movement is not conducive to his style of play. And I reckon he would have retired 1 or 2 years into Mick Malthouse's tenure. So I think him going to Adelaide is probably the greatest thing for him, the greatest thing for the sport. And for him coming back home, like that wonderful story you just said, just makes it even better. I think the right path has happened.
Peter Eric suggests we should lobby the AFL to strike a cup trophy medal to be awarded at every game that we play against Adelaide. Funny you should mention that, Peter. Our good friend Andrew Lake, who everyone will know from the show in blue, and Will suggested that the goal of the year be named after Eddie. That would be a fitting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think he deserves more than a
sayonara.
In terms of namesake medal or whatever. I think he deserves more than two teams coming together. I think he deserves more of a competition honour.
Andrew reached out to Tony DeBolfo, and I believe already there are discussions about some kind of Adelaide Carlton medal. So that would be good. I think also the goal of the year would be fantastically fitting as well, given he won it about 100 times.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, moving on from Eddie, another champion we lost during the week, or last week, was Mark Murphy. We all knew this time was coming, that he was going to retire. Lots of talk and conjecture about getting him to the 300th. Everyone had their say, from whether he didn't deserve it, or all those kind of commentary that was there. Champion bloke, champion player for our footy club, played his 300th game and well and truly deserved in my book. And let's not talk about the performance we dished up for him, but for a moment, let's recognise that Merv is a Carlton man.
Yeah,
and what a great career he's had for our footy club. Again, couldn't get in the finals berth, could barely get him a game. But that's another story. But yeah, hats off to Merv as well. What a champion footballer. I don't understand. People just don't either have very good memories of some of the games he's played and what he's done for our footy club. How many games with the injury from not being able to make those milestones. But I don't understand those kind of people. But anyway,
look, I think we've all been a little bit impatient as supporters, and unfortunately, I think Merv's been the scapegoat for that on field. In reflection, you look at his at his career, and he was an absolute champion of the game, and loyal.
No, not a champion. Not a champion.
Well, he did. He had some good times.
Yeah, but not a champion. He hasn't won a premiership.
Well, that's true. But
a legend of the game, yes.
Yeah, and
Picky.
I just think
You're so picky, Johnny.
I was going to say,
can you just fuck off and let me finish?
Pretty staunch, eh? Fucking, you can be a champion of our club, of course. He won best and fairest. Absolutely champion.
Yeah. Correct.
No, but
get back in the box,
you know where I'm going. I think as a collective, supporters are very impatient, and we just attack whoever's not having a great day. And we knew he was heading towards the end of his career, and not the same as he has been. But you can't throw shit on him for that. That's
look. As I said, people forget. Best twice, 2-time best and fairest winner, All Australian. What else can we say about? I haven't got a list of his achievements. All Australian, I think I said.
Oh, I got the 2012 stats on me caller here.
2012.
Here we go.
That's a 2012 stubby caller.
Fourth longest serving captain in our history. That's not to be not to be sneezed at. But again, his time was always going to be up. Struggled to get up and about. Luckily, he did. I think the club did the right thing. Talk about culture. Footy clubs are built on culture and things like that, and that's what you do for your stars, and you get them there if you need to.
Anyone else?
Wasn't going to help our finals appearance by playing him.
No, well, look, not at the moment, but
so the other bloke we need to talk about.
Here we go.
Before you do, hang on, I'll come back.
Oh, there it is.
So obviously, I've been.
I noticed he left Levi to last.
Of all the champions that have ever gone and filled the walls and filled the halls of our great club.
He's changed the image so you can't see his tears.
And all of the retirement. It's hit me really hard. It honestly has.
Right in the feels.
Right in the fields. You're right for tissues and stuff in your lockdown. Got enough?
Yeah, look, this is my second bottle of Hibiki that I've gone through in the last couple of days. This is on the second bottle. I just don't know. Of all the things we've gone through, COVID and things like that, this whole year, for this to happen has just really rocked me to the core. What can I say about Levi that I haven't seen or done before? Before,
can I just interrupt just for a second, Trev?
Sure.
John, I feel like me, Frank, and you need to go for a while.
We should come back in about 45 seconds or something. That's about all he needs.
Look, a lot of people have dissed Kazzy throughout the years. He can't kick, he can't mark, he can't play.
Oh, I'm one of them. Yeah.
But honestly, he's given all. He got the best out of himself for the footy club. He gave a boyhood Carlton supporter. Obviously, a very handsome individual as well. Great family guy. Wayne Carey once described him as having the best mark in the game. That I don't think
easily. Yeah.
That has never been in doubt. He's easily when he's on song, easily the best contested mark going. For the last 15 years, I reckon, just about.
The best since Stewie Lowe.
I reckon. I was going to say buckets, but yeah, definitely since buckets. But
he definitely had the best hands in the business for a while. Yeah,
he held up he was our only go-to forward for many years, many seasons where we had no one. Jared Waite was in and out of the side. Our side was crap when he wouldn't spoons, and he was taking on the best forwards one out every single week. I don't think he was ever supposed to be that dedicated one-up forward. He's always had to be someone around him, but he got, as someone else already said, he got the best out of himself. And
that's a
he
fair
was on a
comment.
year-to-year
That's a fair
contract
comment.
too.
Yeah.
It
I mean,
wasn't-
I have to admit, there were many times prior to getting Harry and a couple others, when Casbolt had the pill and the forward 50, you'd be watching it like this.
Yeah. He'd drop it from his chin and hit it with his shin. So it's always hard to watch.
Yeah.
Look, I blame the club. I blame the club for
Trev.
that. The development of our footballers over the years has been disgraceful, and they've really let Levi down in that respect, not teaching him how to kick or play.
I remember when Fev was ranting on about coaching him. Remember? Do you remember that?
That was recently, wasn't it?
No, it was only a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Look, he went back. He did roles down there. He recently basically rejuvenated himself 2 years ago, and when he was that ultimate swingman, he was he couldn't be stopped. He was it was like give me a 3-year contract now. The poor bloke's been on a 1-year contract for the last 10 years. So don't know how we can plan anything, but look, everyone knows that I love Levi. It's no big secret. I've been preparing for this day for five years, so I've managed.
Are you going to be okay, Trev? How long do you reckon it'll take before you can replace him?
Oh, there's lucky there's a couple coming through that have already starting to fill that void. So
it'll come pretty quick. Just let it happen, bro.
Just roll with it.
It'll come to me. Yeah, it'll come. But look, I've got a good support mechanism around me. That's fine. It'll just be tough, I must say. And when he goes to the Gold Coast, I'll have a good team to barrack for rather than our shitty ass club. So that's one thing to look forward to.
Mind you,
and I'll be able to move. And I'll move to the Gold Coast as well.
I live with John.
John's
okay.
John's
So one of my comments, funny comments of the night was, or questions of the night, which team is more of a shambles, Carlton or Collingwood at the moment?
Collingwood.
You reckon?
Collingwood? Yeah, nah, fuck me. Collingwood, they are a basket case. They are way worse than us.
They are, but I don't care about them.
I don't either. I couldn't give a fat rat's ass, but they're going to have another mass exodus at the end of this year because they are so badly overspent on their salary cap. It's not even remotely funny.
But I tell you
It's going to be a fire sale at the end of the year again.
Hang on a minute. If there's never been a time that I'm rooting for Collingwood,
it's this weekend.
Fuck
yeah, we can't have Essendon making the finals.
No fucking way.
Nah. That's the only time I will ever barrack for Collingwood if it means Essendon.
Can't pies.
No.
Oh no, not on this show.
I was going to say, fucking, that's a little bit too far.
Just to get Essendon out of the eight.
Too many mid-strings there, mate. But no, you do it silently.
Yeah, I'll do it inside. It's an inside voice one.
Look, I don't know how you can't say that. I don't know how you can't say our club's a bigger basket case. There's shit going down at the moment that's just all over the place.
There's fires everywhere.
I've got rose-coloured glasses on, bro, with that comment. Don't even worry about that.
Nah.
Fuck Collingwood.
Like I said, I don't give a shit about Collingwood. I'm more interested in the shit show that's going on over it.
But we are.
Parade.
But we are in big trouble.
We've got a challenge to our board. We've got a club that is treating their current incumbent coach absolutely disgracefully, and they might be in a rock and a hard place in terms of how they're handling it. There's we haven't heard from anyone about this situation, and except we're not going to comment on the review until it's over with. We all know, we all know the result. We've got another coach coming out and said, "Yep, no problems. I'll take the job when they sack Teague, like it's a foregone conclusion." Already know that Ross Lyon's got the job and's had it for a while.
You reckon?
Already know that. It's concrete. I already know that, and the fact that I do know that is pretty shit too.
How do you know that?
let's talk about this.
I want to
because
tell
you
piss
saw-
ants like you. My
But you also said Tom Papley was a certainty too, mate. So come on.
Yeah.
he was a certainty until he changed his mind. That's a.
That's like the ball was going in until it missed. It's
I'm only told
Levi's life.
I'm only told what I heard it from Tom Papley's mouth virtually. So.
Right. Well, okay. Let's back this back up. Whether it's truth or not, or your ketchup is fair income or not, I'm not supportive of it. I prefer to keep tea.
No, I'm supportive of it.
Nah.
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah.
So this is the first big announcement of the evening. Trev's got a big one later, apparently. But if Ross Lyon gets a job, I am now officially retiring from Carlton Live.
Oh.
Is that all it took to get rid of you?
Yeah,
There goes our ratings will go through the roof.
I'm done.
What's your problem with?
So we
What's your
move up
problem?
the pecking order.
Okay, is it Ross Lyon or the fact we're getting rid of David Teague?
Ross Lyon, definitely, 100%.
What's Ross the boss got you go?
The inability to win a premiership, first of all, but also the division that happens within a club, and why two clubs have desperately sought to get rid of him.
Well, we'll back up again then. St Kilda didn't want to get rid of him. St Kilda just didn't want to give him the contract he wanted. Where are you saying? Where are you hearing that St Kilda?
Fremantle paid double what they were offering.
He went to St Kilda, wanted a contract after taking them to the grand final and losing by a bounce, basically bringing their club up. So I don't know where you're saying that he was St Kilda wanted him out.
They did. And, you speak to a lot of good St Kilda people and they say that Grant Thomas was the one who did all that hard work. And they would have had a lot more success under Grant Thomas in their view.
Not many coaches have won a grand final.
That's the point I was going to make. He got two virtually basket cases to 4 grand finals. So I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, he didn't win one, but as Trev said, they're very hard to win, and many coaches go through their career and they're good coaches that don't even get to a grand final, never mind win one.
It's not like there's premiership coaches growing on trees. There's one right now available. So
yeah, and it doesn't mean there's not one in the future as well. So again, this. Sorry, guys. I promised I wouldn't get serious tonight, but
no, I do it.
But the whole point of this review, and it's just, it's gone on too long, and it's just so detrimental to the club. It's brought it back 20 years. This whole review and all that, but the whole reason for the review was to review the football department to see why we were not up to the standard of what the top 4 teams are. It took people out of the equation. It's to look at processes. It's to look at, what are we not doing that the top clubs are doing? And all of a sudden it's become this absolute witch hunt because we've gone downhill in our results. But let's get back to the fact. Okay, does David Teague still have the players, yes or no? Yes, he does. What do we need to put in support of David Teague to go to the next level? If we need a Ross Lyon defensive coach, you get a fucking defensive coach. You don't get Ross Lyon. You get these pieces in place around him to be able to do his job, instead of making him the scapegoat and saying this whole problem is because of the coach, and it's not.
Except the only people saying it's the go on. Sorry, Frank.
Go on. No, you go, Trev.
The only people saying it's the coach is the media, and the only people and I don't know where you're getting this review from.
And the supporters.
Yeah.
Like social media is woeful at the moment with hatred and
I haven't got hatred,
This
but I'll go
review-
back a step.
this
I don't
review-
reckon JR.
Say it again.
I was going to say, JR, I reckon Teague doesn't have the players. I don't reckon he has for us for quite some time.
Yeah, well, look,
His game plan
that's the
doesn't
debate.
resonate with the players. Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
That's the debate. And look, I'm with you. If he doesn't, gone straight away.
Well, I can
And I
tell
don't
you,
think
and I've
so.
said this. I can tell you, and I've said this before. I know that he doesn't have the players, and I know that because of team selection. I know that because of some of the stuff that he's not doing with the younger players. So I know that. I actually know that. Whether you believe me or not, that's what I do know. The other thing, Johnny, is this review was not about processes and systems. It was also about people as well. And that's what you do. when you do
No,
it.
they said that it was not about the coaches.
No, that's not true. The
hear me out for a minute. Hear me out for a minute.
One sec.
Yeah, go
I'm
on.
going to get a beer.
Store up some shit and then piss off. That'd be like you.
bring two at a time, man. What the
Yeah.
hell?
Mark,
Yeah, you-
the president was asked whether this was a review into David Teague as a coach, and then the president said, the ex-president Mark said,
Which president?
The old-
Mark, the ex-president Mark Lajuche said, no, this is not about David Teague. This is about, it's nothing to do with his coaching. It's to do with the football department. 2 days later, Matthew Pavlich comes out and says, of course, the coach is being reviewed as part of the football department. He's the goddamn head of the football department in many respects, other than Brad Lloyd. So, of course it does that.
Yeah.
Many clubs put a football review in place. Many clubs, external reviews, and it's good practice because, especially with our board, we've
Fair
got
enough.
sweet FA football experience, except Chris Judd. They put in this review because the results that we were expecting and the performance of our footy club was not to where that they expected it would be. They appointed Teague. They said verbatim that Teague is the man that will is the right person to take this group to success. That's what they said when they appointed him. Profile
Okay,
by
so
$1
if he's not, and he hasn't got the players, then he's gone. But if he is that coach, put the support group around him, which they haven't.
That's right. Yeah, and that was the point I was gonna make is, you know, there's all this noise about going for Clarkson and Lyon and la. I'd rather back Teague in, let him see him out his contract. But what the hell's Brad Lloyd doing? Like, I know that there's some selection integrity issues, and you can't tell me I'm not fucking believing anybody that top dogs haven't interfered with that. You know, we're paying Joe Soap X amount of dollars. He has to play whether he performs or not. I think
And that's not a Teague thing. You're right. That's not a Teague thing.
I believe that the head of football needs to answer to some shit, and maybe that's where a Clarkson or Lyon steps in, because they've got the balls to say to the top dogs, no, fuck off, don't interfere with selection. We've got it, thanks.
I reckon that is a Teague thing, though, because he should be the one that has the balls to tell your story. Ross Lyon doesn't be told by a board who to play.
Come on.
Who's
responsible? Who's responsible? Who's responsible for that 95-point debacle that we had last week? Not the people around him.
No.
Smarter football people than me will tell me that from their observations of the way we play on game day, which is the direct responsibility of the coach, is on Teague's head. So you could put JC around him, and and David Teague is in charge. I'm not smart enough to give my understanding or opinion on whether Teague is the right person for the job. Smarter people than me say, and I observe the footy like you do, and say, "What the hell's going on? Why is this guy playing here? Why aren't we going back to this sort of structure when we're 95 points down? What's happening here? Why is Sam Petrescu sitting on the bench? Or all those kind of things we've talked about ad nauseum, which comes down to the coach. I have to trust this football review. It's external. They'll tell us whether he can coach or not, and they'll find out whether they've lost the players. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, and look, I still stick by what I said in terms of, sure, usually it's a head coach's job to have a bit of, a bit of a concrete set to turn around to anyone interfering with selection and saying, I got this, piss off. However, he doesn't have experience in coaching premiership sides. So, whereas the others do, but I don't
Ross
think they're
Lyon
natural as
doesn't.
head coach.
Ross Lyon doesn't.
Well, that's true, yes. But
And now he's gone again.
I think the issue is that there's not a huge stock of head coaches in the system. Why are we continuing to go back to the old has-beens? Like Malthouse, for an example, is one huge fat reason why I don't want a has-been. So, why not put people with experience in a different position to help mentor head coaches that are coming up through the system?
Well, at some point, Alex Clarkson was a rookie coach. At some point, Damien Hardwick was a rookie coach. At some point, John Longmire was a rookie coach. All of those coaches, at some point, were David Teague, and made mistakes.
That's right, and they had support put around them.
And made mistakes.
Carlton had support put around them.
Carlton's got a number of problems with that situation, with that unfortunate solution, is that we were told and we were expecting that and our list profile and our rebuild status of where we were told this side is ready to get up the ladder and win games of footy and play finals. We were told that. We were
sent that message.
Yeah.
We were also told that Teague was the man to do that. And the board appointed him, $1 million recruitment personality profiling organisation whose owner is on the board, profiled him and found that was the case. If they sack him now, then they've obviously got to put their hand up, which I doubt they will, and say we fucked up, we made a mistake, we were wrong.
But they need to because they have done, and they need to admit that this was yet another poor decision.
So then how do you trust them again to appoint the next bloke?
That's right, and that's why I'm not.
Board's out as well.
I'm not supporting sacking the coach kind of rhetoric, because I just think that we've tried it, and that's not a reason to not sack a coach. But I just think that there's other problems in the club.
Absolutely,
that need to be fixed.
That's why we're having. That's why, as you all know, that there's a big shit fight going on, and potentially a spill of the board, because there's lots of people that are waking up and finally seeing that the problem is not necessarily one coach or group of coaches or whatever. It's 10 years of inherent failure from and it starts at the top. That's you've watched the show every week, I'm sure, Simone, and you've heard me bum on about it. The board have done some
culture comes from top down. Culture comes from top down.
It is very hard to employ people. It is very hard to employ people. It's the hardest thing you can do when you're an employer is to put someone. I've employed hundreds of people and put some in jobs that have lasted a week. You've done all the interviews, everything's like that. I've done interviews and give blokes a job and they haven't turned up the next week after they've got the goddamn job. So it's very hard. It's very, very hard in this footy game.
Yeah.
But persevering with somebody is not going to cut it is the worst possible thing imaginable.
Well, look, and I agree. As Justin's just said there, if it was that straightforward to sack Teague, they wouldn't have organised a review. And as you said, Trev, the review will produce the results of where the problems really are. I just hope that there is some transparency. And, of course, the email from Sayers leads us to believe that we might get some information.
We're going to get fuck all, mate.
Yeah, but
they will not.
They can't throw the baby out with the bathwater again. Yeah. They do. It's the same MO every time.
We'll get an executive summary of the findings, is what we'll get, and we'll and there'll be obviously proof when the sackings start happening. So that's how we'll understand the result of the findings. We're not going to get, this bloke said this thing about David Teague, or this bloke's mother said something about this guy. We're not going to get that. We're going to get executive summary.
It might say that Trevor's really upset that Casbolt retired, and we let him down by not offering him another year.
The first thing I'm going to do when I'm president, and I'm announcing my ticket here tonight, so everyone that's a big announcement. Trev's ticket.
Is that it?
That'll be to give Levi a 5-year contract, and
Give him
put him in
1.5
place
for 5.
and put him in place as our kicking head kicking coach.
He can be our kicking coach.
So vote Trev Wallard now. Vote 1.
How about 2? Can we go for 2? Vote 2.
You know what? If I was on the board, what I would do is I would actually represent the bloody members and actually know what they're thinking and saying and be able to communicate with them. And I would actually get in front of them and I'd answer their questions and I'd speak to them. That's one thing I would do if I got on the bloody board. But that's
it's not rocket surgery, is it?
It's not brain science.
There's a problem. Obviously, this review, they're stuck in a rock and a hard place. They come out in front of the media, Little, whoever says and says, oh, yeah, the first question they're going to ask is, do you back Teague in? Little was already asked that back in June and said, yeah, 100%. He had his fingers crossed behind his back when he said it.
Oh, absolutely he did. Absolutely.
That's not Little's job.
No. And,
he was on the committee that appointed him the first time, so it is his job.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realise that. Yeah,
and his job is
why is he on that committee?
And his job is to represent the board as well. So it is his job, even though I don't think he should have been. But that's another story as well.
Fair enough.
But they're in a rock and a hard place. We've been around footy for so long. We know that when you're asked a question about a coach, they've got to lie through their teeth. They've just got to.
Absolutely.
You can't say, oh, he's gone, when the bloke hasn't even been told himself or doesn't even know he's been told himself. It's a shitty process that's got to go on. And the only thing they can do is shut up, because they know that if they're asked the question, they can't say yes, they can't say no. They've got to come out and say, oh, it's the process, we don't know. In other words, that means he's gone, because if he was right to go, they would say, yeah, no problems. He's stop speculating. And rightly so, Teague has put his hand up today saying, I've got nothing from the board. They haven't told me anything. I don't know what's going on. I'm just in the all I know, there's a review going on.
It's not to say that they don't want to make any statements until they've made decisions.
And that's what they've said. They've said we're not
one way or another
until the review's happened.
There is
so
no
I'll
doubt
go back
they
to my
have
initial.
let Teague down.
I'll go back to my initial statement about this review. Is that it was a holding pattern with the view that we would get better with on-field results. So it wouldn't be so detrimental that the findings and, what they had to do was going on. And now they're just delaying it again.
Yeah.
Until things settle down.
Look, and to be fair, I wouldn't want to hear too much before the end of the season, to be honest. But I tell you what, I want to know about it Sunday morning.
Tell me,
tell me
this. How does Eddie Betts? Tell me
Wait,
this. Whether we agree with the Eddie Betts decision or not, and we've already had that discussion. Someone, I don't know who it is within the club, list management, maybe Nick Austin, but he's not the only one. Probably Brad Lloyd has said to Eddie, we're not going to go around again.
Yeah.
We're not going to make it go around again. Those same blokes could be out of their job next week. The same blokes that have just got rid of Eddie have just got rid of are gone again. So I don't know why they're making these choices and decisions until this review is finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair call, Trev.
That's a great call, Trev. Yeah.
Great call.
Best thing
they've been interviewing other. I don't know what other jobs they've been interviewing for.
You might have just eliminated your spot in the Goose of the Year award.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Because there's some good sense.
The only reason John's doing this show is to see me win that.
You don't go on single events. You've got to go on form.
Body of work,
Mate.
No, it's a fair comment. Another one I want to throw in.
Don't.
Since Gary Ayres got the arse at Port Melbourne.
Did he?
Yes.
I don't know whether he got the arse or he left, but he's no longer at Port Melbourne.
It was a bit of a misconstrued announcement. So whether he got the arse or left, what's everyone think of him as an assistant coach?
No.
I reckon it's the smartest thing Simo's ever said.
Oh, mate, I'm very smart sometimes.
But I don't mind for a bit of an alternative thought. Gary Ayres has coached Port Melbourne for a long time and done a really good job.
Yeah, I like him, and it could be a succession plan down the track.
He'll fit Johnny's profile. He's won a premiership.
Yeah, so he's a
That's
champion.
Johnny.
Yeah.
That's Johnny's
As
profile.
a player,
Hey?
as a player.
Player and coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Port won a flag, didn't they?
2, I think, under him.
Yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Not AFL.
No.
Talking about Port Melbourne. He's not happy.
He got to the big
JR's
dance.
he's
He got
dirty
to
up
the
here.
big dance with the Cats. Didn't win one with the Cats.
Say it again.
No, it's a no for me. I think there's plenty of other people coming.
All right.
coming.
I like
Anyway,
it.
let's finish the
I like
debate.
it a lot.
Ross Lyon has already got the job. You've heard it. I told everyone last week.
Are we
I got two new.
blocking
We
it?
got two
Or
new Twitter followers.
are we locking and blocking it, or what are we doing?
Ross Lyon is the new coach of Carlton Footy Club. It's done. And
God,
dusted.
I-
The deal
Where
is done.
there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's smoke,
Look.
there's fire.
Look,
So
Johnny has,
I'm done.
yeah, Johnny has made his announcement about what might happen if that happens, and I have to agree with him. Like,
So when I'm the new
not
president,
a fan.
when I'm the new president, we'll just need 2 new co-hosts of Carlton Live. So we'll just
Might be you and Frank.
not be me and Frank left. If I'm the president, I'll still do Carlton Live, no problems.
So yeah,
Might have to tone down the drinking a little bit.
No.
no, do it John Elliott style. Bugger it.
Oh yeah, we've got to start.
Pig's ass.
Got to start something. As soon as Levi lifts the restraining order on me, I'll be able to go.
How's that not happened yet?
No, he's a gentleman, Levi. He's a very, very good gentleman and a very good family man.
What have we got next? You're driving this.
Come on, goose of the year.
The last game of the year.
Segment, goose of the year.
The last go, I'll do that.
No, we'll do the last game first. Let's go.
Yep.
Patrick Dow being dropped. What does that say to you?
That really grinds my gears. Really boils my fucking piss, that does.
Yeah, it's a bit rough.
Oh, man. That just sums up where Carlton's at the moment. Literally. Who do we drop? We're going to drop somebody. You. Oh, fuck, that was Paddy Dow. Well, you're out, bro.
There must be
Dead set.
there must be like an hour every day at Carlton where, boys, don't walk across when they're having a chat, because when they point to someone, you're out.
I'm pretty sure Tigi sits there with a bucket and names scrunched up and he's fucking, nope. Right, Dow, you're out. All right, Levi, you're in. Surely that's how it works. It's, yeah, I don't get it.
I don't think Trev wants to do the show with you anymore
No, I'm sure.
after me and John have left.
Paddy Dow's come into the not come into the side. He's been given some opportunity, some midfield time, and the bloke's actually I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's just I'm shocked.
He's been getting some handball lessons from Diesel, I'm sure of it. Does anybody else think that the way Paddy Dow has been handballing the ball lately looks exactly like the way Diesel did it? 25 years
And
ago.
finding spaces to do it.
Yeah. He gets the arms up. He's got a bit more confident through the core, so he'll take a tackle on or two and then get the arms up and a handball out. He's looked really good. Absolutely my most improved player from start of the year to back end.
Look, he could finish up.
Speaking of back end, he has got the back end and the hips of a Dusty Martin. You can't tackle him if you go for the hips.
Yep. He's so strong through that core that has come up out of nowhere. And it's no coincidence that the moment that they arseholed John Barker and Luke Power took over somewhat more of a role, that we've seen that from Paddy Dow and a few others going through the middle.
Yeah, so
I don't know if you've got it. I don't know if you've got it.
I want to lift the mood here. I reckon Paddy Dow's a big revelation for this season. You know,
Yep.
one of the things that I most love about this season is Matthew Kennedy. It's something
Yes, wasn't that awesome? Yeah.
something we've been looking forward for so long, and he's finally delivered. I don't know if it's going back to being a rookie and not a senior listed player, and finally realizing that pennies dropped, mate. You're not that good as you think you are. You need to actually get fit and to play, and he has been fantastic, and I've absolutely loved that. I've absolutely loved every game that Jay Sauce has played. You know, he's gone. I think, you know, another thing about these older players going is there'll be a little bit of a bump up now for JSOS and getting that contract sort of signed. You know, he's been a revelation. H going to new standards. You know, there's been a lot of great stuff that's happened in a very, very shit year. Wiedering and Jones just continue to be, you know, they are the Langford and Ayres, aren't they?
Absolutely, they are. Yep.
You're right. We've got little pockets of golden nuggets through a shitty year. We look at these gold nuggets and we go, I'm hanging everything I've got onto you. And you're quite right, John.
Yeah. That's what makes it even worse. That's what makes it even worse, the shitty year we've had. We've got more than golden nuggets. You've just mentioned 2 All-Australian defenders, the Coleman medalist.
Yeah.
Probably you've got...
And let's not forget Walsh.
Sam Walsh, top 5. Sam Walsh, top 5 in the Brownlow. And you got Patrick Cripps, one of the top 5 centremen in the Brownlow. So you got those blokes there, and we finished where we finished.
Yep, and
I tell you what, I can't. I've thrown some hard earned on Walsh for Brownlows. Probably not going to get it, but. And
85 to 1 start of the year. 85 to 1.
Mate. And I'll tell you what, that's what I'm hanging my hopes on for the rest of this. Well, the rest of the season is the Coleman and the Brownlow.
But in true Carlton form, though, we've found a way to try to fuck the pooch on the Coleman as well, with Harry getting injured with 2 games to go.
Oh, look.
He's gonna win it, but Jesus Christ, we tried to fuck that up as well.
Has to pull a fucking rabbit out of the hat this week.
Oh, yeah.
To get anywhere near him.
But that would just sum up Carlton's year, wouldn't it, if he got pipped to the post for the Coleman, missing the last 2 games.
True, yeah.
Charlie's back. That's been good.
That's a great little gold nugget.
Don't care if he's not getting a touch. He's just out there running around, jumping around.
Yeah. And how was his goal the other week?
He's probably 3 weeks ago now. We haven't watched it.
No, I did watch that.
I thought Perth was 2 hours behind, not 2 weeks behind.
That's as many weeks as you
We're
want.
trying to catch up. No, his goal from 55 out, like that was
off a step.
Charlie's back, you beauty.
Yeah. And it was exactly the right time of the game to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Sort of put that ascendancy down. But
Yeah. And look, that week, where that absolutely, social media post of the year came out, it's a fucking goat. And it goes to Walsh going, fuck yeah. Like that goal there was the biggest nugget of gold I've ever seen for a long time.
I agree with Paddy Dangerfield. He will be one of the best of all time.
Absolutely. Yes, there's no doubt about that. What is he, 21? Just gone?
Just.
Yeah.
So as much as we gnashed our teeth about the old players going, that's going to really help to re-sign this bloke on a long-term contract, and it's going to take
I really
lot of money.
If you want to get a new coach, put Sam Walsh in as coach.
He'll get it done.
Put him in as put his parents in as president and vice president.
Nothing could go wrong. Nothing at all. And Trevor's spokesperson for the club, no dramas.
Hey, I want to get your guys' view on this, because this is it's something that's been bugging around in my mind. Is Sam Walsh, as grouse as he is, I wouldn't give him captaincy. I'd just let him run free.
No, definitely not.
Better
No.
off leaving Patrick Cripps as captain if
Yeah,
that's the case.
no, leave him
Yeah.
do his thing.
Yep.
You wouldn't want that pressure on him.
No.
He's having a fat time, doing his job.
Yeah.
No way.
They've got
Look,
they've got
I
leadership
think that-
groups for that.
I think for me, he's like a a Mark Murphy. Sorry, in terms of he is the best person you can possibly follow, as off the field and everything that he does, and you just mold yourself on that. But as a captain, no, just let them do their stuff and let them be the great player that they are.
Yeah.
Let's,
I agree with Andrew Lake there. Weitering should be given the job. Absolutely.
Yeah.
He is
He
the
would be
leader.
the one who'd be able to take that pressure
Yeah.
and still do his job.
He's got a very steely reserve when he does his job. I think he can cope. Yeah.
I don't
Ladies and
think
gentlemen,
anything has ever bothered him.
This is the Carlton Live Western Bar combo. We've waffled on. Let's have a chat to some of our fantastic audience and hear what you've had to say, whether you're commenting or questioning. Speaking of Andrew Lake, we've got a team with a plethora of midfielders. So what we do, we drop one fielder who offers us something to Cripps, Kennedy, and Kerno. Good point, Andrew. Angelo Gravina, these players will thrive with a new coach, he says. I agree. Mac Champion, flip side, plenty of positives. Dow, Kennedy, Stocker, Charlie's
if
knee,
you're a fucking
Honey,
spud,
Jason.
you're a fucking spud.
Who is?
Sorry, I'll go back on that. That you thrive under a good coach. If
course
you're
you
a
do.
fucking spud, you're a fucking spud.
What time do you start
Absolutely.
drinking, right? No.
No, he's 100% right. 100% right.
No, I disagree.
If you're a potato, you're a potato. You
No.
go.
The only good thing that comes from spuds is mashed potato.
No. None of these players are spuds.
Potato.
Think of a mother whose son has just got drafted to Carlton.
No! Oh God, no!
You're a raw kid. You're coming to the club.
Humanity.
You want to be developed. You want a safe environment. You want leadership. You want mentoring. You want growth. You want all of those kind of things.
Richmond.
I go to Richmond. Shane Matthews says, JSOS the most improved this year, hands down. Love JSOS. Maybe we can get Ben back too when Kane goes. Mac Champion, great to see Durden get a taste. Bit overdue, but yes, good to see him get a taste of it. 100%. Who else have we got? Anthony Walsh says, McGovern to the back line will be what I'd like to see this week. Well, that might be a little bit hard with Harry out. We might need him up forward, but with Jones out, it would have been good to see if Gov could fill that back role. Because once again, when Charlie and Harry are up, we need an extra back up there if something happens to to Jones or to Wiedering. So turning McGovern into a backman is probably the best idea.
Yeah, I agree. He's definitely going to be best suited down back moving forward.
Look at Andrew Lake's comment. Absolute perler. Don't know how we missed it. Gold nugget moment when Jack kicked that goal against Collingwood and pointed at the sky for Surge. Like,
Beautiful.
golden moment. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Was beautiful. G'day to Wayne Finstra. Teague may be staying. I was talking about his sack. Maybe just keeps his job next year. Sorry, Wayne. He's out. Well, he's already done.
We can't afford another 12 months of a potential like this. We're at severe risk of losing Walsh and then Harry a year later if we have another 12 months like this.
Brendan Scott is 100% right. Good coach can turn boiled into roast. Yes, you are correct. I 100% agree with that. Arwe's 22. Where did Arwe's go? 30-plus goal. He was all of a sudden the flavour of the month, and he's gone.
Yeah.
Who else have we got here? David Chanel, I really think is going to be a win this week. Game over. We really think it's going to be a win. Wake up, everyone. I don't think we're going to beat GWS, but I hope we have a crack.
I really do hope we have a crack for Eddie.
Yeah.
Do you think we should have played Cripps? Do you think we should have played Cripps?
No.
Nah, keep him on ice.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure he wanted to play in Eddie's 350th. That's probably one thing.
Maybe, yeah. Look, I'm happy to see him there, but I think, the season's cooked.
Yep.
Go on ice. Get
Yep.
ready for next year.
Yep.
Come home for a trip so I can go and stalk him up Northampton.
So just back on selection this week, Carlton. I don't know. Carlton have got a history of playing players in the last few rounds that they delist in the last few weeks. I don't know.
Yeah, like the last lap.
So someone like Fisher, for instance, maybe he's on the trade table. If he's potentially on the trade table, or someone like, why would you play him instead of not Dow? Doesn't make sense. Why would you?
Well, SPS is up.
Different. That you give him currency by playing him.
Well, I don't. No, you don't. One game's not going to give him currency.
Delisting is a different thing to trading.
True, but what if they know that he's going to be on the table? Why play him and not give it another crack to a player that like Ramsey or someone like that?
Because you give him currency.
No, one game is not currency. One game.
It's a succession of games, and you give a average over the games.
Don't know. Anyway, it's just another funny situation we find ourselves in with selection. I'm back on the Dow thing again, but it's just another funny, funny thing
like
in the selection.
Sums up our year. Sums up our year, and lack of selection integrity, really.
Yeah.
The other thing they put on
shambles of a club, and we are
the other thing they put on there was Murphy was out managed. That was the message that came.
So who do you think's going to end up given a DCM notice at the end of the season?
Well, I think they've done.
Good question.
Yeah, they've done the old boys, but there's going to be a few. I'm not sure Lockie O'Brien's going to go around again.
Do you reckon he showed enough 2 weeks ago? I thought he was brilliant.
The problem is we can't take. We have to delist how many players per year by AFL regulations? I think it's 5 or 6.
No, it's not that many. I think you need to get 3 or 4 new players in.
Yeah,
right.
We're going to lose. We've lost 3. We might lose another one, but yeah, I don't know.
You might be able to keep the list intact as it is now.
Mm.
Yeah.
Here's what I think. First of all, with the review, there's going to be some heads rolling in terms of our footy department. So, like I said earlier, the people who are going to be doing the exit interviews will be probably exited first. Then there's going to be there's going to be the new team come in, Ross Lyon. I don't think there should be or will be wholesale changes. I'm still very bullish and excited on our list. I don't think T and his team have got the best out of our list, and I don't think the development side of our footy club is where it should be. That's clearly what's going to happen within this. Surely that's got to be one of the parts of this review is to find out where our development's been over the last 10 years.
Yeah, what we got to do is who are the best development people in the business, and Geelong are. So you fucking buy them.
Yeah, they're 75 and still running around.
So you can't delist anyone. You can't delist someone and then have your own job gone the next week. So there's going to be a time. There's going to be time, and then
there is an order of things, isn't there? And that
Well, maybe we shouldn't talk about who's going to be delisted, who's going to be requested to trade. Because I reckon there's going to be a number of players that will turn around and go, this is a fucking basket case. I want to be traded to fucking Gold Coast or some stupid shit.
That's a good point.
And as soon as they sign Ross Lyon, you'll get 50% want to be traded.
All the mice out of the ship.
So guys, I'm so interested in Goose of the Year. Come on, let's put it down.
Now, there's been quite a few throughout the season.
There has been so much so I probably forgot half of them.
So have I. And if we just do a little bit of a recap, we've had some good ones. One of them was when Stocker kicked a goal in the defensive 50.
Yeah, kicked the goal from the from the back pocket.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Shea Bolton and Daniel Rioli, having some nose beers and punching on in Chapel Street
Yes.
after a win, and old mate takes mark of the year. So wander into town and start bashing blokes.
He's seriously lining up for 1A.
Absolutely.
Another one was the chief health officer in Adelaide. Do you remember? If the ball goes in the crowd, don't touch it.
Do not touch that ball. I think it was Tom Morris that came out and said vehemently, like Trev did earlier about Ross Lyon, Patrick Cripps is 100% going to West Coast. Signed, sealed, delivered. He's not staying at Carlton. 2 weeks later, signed a 6-year deal. Well done, Tom.
Hang on.
Good job, mate.
We always like what Corns has to say, don't we?
Yeah.
How's Rosie going?
It's not going well. Mind you, he'll be playing finals this year, but that's irrelevant. Walsh is a hell of a lot better.
Yes.
Fuck Rosie and Kane Corns.
And then our good mate Raf / Kev /
Nyarek Bodio.
When he got booted, all three of his Facebook pages got
in
booted
24 hours. 3 Facebook pages thrown in jail because he gets on his high horse and argues with every Tom, Dick, and Harry and calls them all sorts of names.
Is that Kev Brody?
Yeah. Look, if you can understand his bro on Facebook, he actually makes a lot of sense.
When you can put his words together in a coherent sentence, he makes a lot of sense and knows a lot about the game. He just gets so fired up and throws F-bombs and C-bombs and all sorts of shit in there. And Facebook jail, 30 days.
Zuckerberg goes,
you're out, bro.
I remember him from the actually this is going way back to the what is it, the forums that were like the blue forums and all that sort of stuff. He was fantastic there too. He's
such a good egg.
Yeah, he is. He just can't mind his P's and Q's. Way worse than Simone and I.
Another one
has to be said.
Carlton Football Club.
No, I was going to say us for thinking we were going to make finals this year. It was only 2 weeks ago. We're like, we might do a Bradbury.
I'm still doing my ladder predictor.
Yeah,
I'm still hoping 4 teams will come down with COVID, and we'll get bumped up.
We can Bradbury on in.
Do a 4-team hub. Over here at Optus actually would be good. Yeah.
I'm going to get COVID and spread it to all of the 4 teams and 5 teams above us.
Oh, that's a plan.
And I think John gets one just because he always nominates Trev.
Yep.
Yeah.
And wants to hand in his resignation for Carlton Live if Ross Lyon gets in.
He wants to take his.
That's in. That is in.
He wants to,
well, that's a goose nomination then.
Yeah. He wants to throw his toys out the pram.
Yeah.
He's got the shits.
Yeah.
And of course, then there's Trev. Who, he's had a perpetual nomination week in, week out.
Yeah, mostly for no reason.
Always for no reason. Always.
And we laugh and we go along with it because it's funny.
But then when you went with Cunningham's never going to play a game ever again and bang 30
touches
touches 2 weeks in a row. We got a real reason for it. Who gets it for the year?
Hang on. Anthony Walsh has just thrown one up. Lingy's commentary. He gets
terrible.
one.
Same with James Bartel. He's a terrible prick too. They hate Carlton.
But I think for this year, to be honest, it's going to be a tough call because we've got Raf / Kev / Narek. And then we've got Trev, who's done video footage of Levi Caspol with a candle.
I bet you his flag at the front's half-mast as well.
The other flag's been definitely at half-mast.
So, look, Trev, to finish this season up, mate, you are the goose of the year. Yay!
Yeah, brilliant.
We'll see if we can. We do have a little trophy to come your way, and look, we do
You're paying for
it. We do hope we can ask Levi to deliver it to you.
That'd be nice.
Well, that'd
Personally
make
and naked.
Yeah.
You rock up with a double.
Appreciate that. Look, it's really, I honestly, sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate that. You know, there was obviously a lot of good nominations that you've just read out there, and I just find myself humbled to be in that company.
Yeah.
You know, it's something I've aspired to throughout the year to try and, you know, win this award, not intentionally, and to win it on the back of really no reason at all. It just makes it even special.
But you won it tonight, and that's all that matters. You know, like
I actually tried not to. I actually tried out to not win it tonight. I tried to get out of it.
And JR tried to pip you at the post as best he could.
Yeah,
but
and you did a full Bradbury. You know, you come through at the end. You went,
if we go another 15 minutes, Johnny's going to crap his pants, and he'll definitely win it.
Look,
speaking of the double cobra, do you remember when Levi kicked that goal, and the kid who was wearing number 41? How good was that?
That was absolutely beautiful.
The kid's got no other kids. Every kid's got 3 or 9 or 6 or whatever they've got on their 1, and this kid's strolling past the members, and all of a sudden he just banged one in 41-41. That was I'll never forget that moment.
Yeah, well, it was great. I mean, you know, the kid was, you know, walking past Preston Oval, and, you know, Levi managed to get one through. And
if I was there, I would have pushed that kid over to get that ball. That's how. I would have jumped on his back.
Oval. It was seconds, you know.
And then I would have been down at Optus Oval the next week doing the double cobras, and he would have been doing it for me, not that silly little 9-year-old kid.
Jealousy is a curse.
It is. It is.
Well,
look,
as I said,
I think
when I'm president, Levi will get a 5-year contract.
5-year deal. Yeah.
So listen, Trev, when you're president, will we get free memberships, or, you know, like bit of mates rates, or what?
Well, that's one of the things that the current board have been, you know, accused of, is, you know, looking after each other and stuff like that. I'll remember you for sure. I'll sign autographs.
As long as we get the occasional Carlton, we're easy place.
I'll come on your show. That's
geez, don't do that.
One thing I'll commit to. But I'll be a man of the members. I'll not forget where my roots are. I will be one of you. I will look after you and your considerations.
Oh dear.
I will have a beer with the cheer squad at the footy. I will come down and I'll be part of you. I won't be one of these billionaire
hobnob. Take a yard glass like Bob Hawke.
Billionaire hobnob.
Yeah, do a Bob Hawke, and then you got the job.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm one of you guys. I'm a man of the people. The man of the members.
Speaking of you know, part of the people, Frank and I would like to thank you two fellas for having us as part of your team to basically drink beer and talk shit about footy.
Literally, that's all we've done is drink, piss, and talk shit.
Because, you know, we wanted to bring to people sitting at home bit of a conversation that you might have with your mates at the pub after the footy.
Yep.
That's essentially what we've been trying to do.
Bit of piss taking, bit of footy.
So thanks for having us. We really, really appreciate it.
Yep. It was a great.
We couldn't get anyone else.
Yep, you're very welcome. You're very welcome. I mean, you guys do just such a wonderful job. Yeah, almost every week. I missed a couple towards the end for different reasons, but
so did we.
most weeks I've been there watching because it's just so goddamn funny, and it's just what you've done is raise the bar in terms of entertainment. I think for the Carlton Live brand, especially in the West.
We've got Mick Malloy and Sam Pang here, so we're doing all right.
I'm not. I think I'm Mari and you're Sam Pang. We need a Richmond supporter to take the piss out of.
So
next year we'll have it every weekday will be covered. We'll have a show for every state covered. You guys obviously we've just undertaken John and I have undertaken our review. The results will be due in a few weeks. At this stage, I'm backing you in for next year.
So that may change.
But that's not what the media is saying, Trev.
Yeah.
The media is saying that we're getting the arse.
Well, we appointed you, so we can't go back on that. It's our own fault. We'll put our hand up. We'll back you in.
For 5. I'm still waiting to see the check.
Yeah, 1.5 for 5.
Good job we do this for love, not money.
We'll back you in. No, we'll be sponsored by Bogues next year with any luck. That's the intention.
Yep.
We like Gabe Rhodes over here.
Thank you very much. Let's wrap it up.
Seriously?
Thank you all of.
You can carry on, but we're going.
All of our viewers here in the West. It's been a great pleasure to have you all. It's been a shit season, and it's been really tough every week for all of us, all 4 of us, to get up and to do these shows. And we really, really appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And your contributions, your comments, your messages.
Yeah, we do try and keep up with all the comments going through.
Donations.
Send stars. Send stars.
No, don't do that. That's just no.
We're going to be. You know, this is just our last big bang for the season. We'll be doing Brownlow shows. You guys will be doing other shows. I've got a couple of interviews lined up. One very big one that I won't announce, but it's looking likely that we'll have that person.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that, mate.
The next few weeks. Which I'm sure will be a must view.
So continue to follow Carlton Live. We will appear occasionally, but as we finish up the season, the regular shows will be. We all need a break because this supporting Carlton stuff.
It's been terrible.
It's hard work.
Yeah.
Recharge, reset for 2022.
Yeah.
So good evening, everyone.
Yeah.
I'll just get rid of Johnny. Johnny's out. He's
Thanks,
gone.
Guys.
So did you see? Did you ever see that? Did you ever see Karate Kid when Mr. Miyagi got drunk reminiscing about his wife passing away? That's picture that. That's going to be me tonight with my. It's been me for the last few weeks.
And with that thought, wax on, wax off. Good night. Go Blues. Let's have a win for Eddie on the weekend.
Let's do that.
Cheers, guys.
See you guys.
Thank you.